Hey everybody, I'm a little bit late. Technical difficulties in a Mercury retrograde. What a shocker. How's everybody doing? Woo, pretty woo, these energies, right? Anyway, I have a lot to share with you. I took some notes. You guys know me, I just kind of let it rip. Got the sparkly shirt on today. Just trying to sparkle it up a little bit. There's a lot of strange misinformation that's been going on around. There always is with eclipses because they're really powerful, right? Lunar eclipses or full moon lunar eclipses are not to be trifled with. You know, these are can be career ender things, relationship enders, big shifts with these, right? So I wanted to just come on here and hey, thanks for popping on. Sorry I'm a little bit late, everybody. Because I pulled some cards too, because we get all the fun today. We get all the stuff, right? Because we deserve it. We deserve to have some fun together today. So anyway, if you're new, my name's Irma Kay. I'm an astrologer and energy reader. I've been doing the do for 30 years now. This is my 30th year. So welcome. Hi Liz, thanks for popping by. Got some people. Since a lot of people didn't know I was going on today, I'm just going to leave this up. If you want to watch the replay, it'll be here. Someone told me that 8 to 10 minutes is a good length for videos as far as people actually watching them. And hey, Mary, I don't want to be on, what is it? Don't bore us, get to the chorus, right? So I'm going to do my best to just really try to be concise with what I want to share with you today, because there's a lot. And when I sat down to think about the report, I'm like, oh, heck no, I'm not writing all this down. So what do we have? We have a full moon in Virgo. Traditionally, full moons can be, right, critical, a little nitpicky. It's earth energy, right? It's ruled by Mercury. Now we've got Mercury retrograde. So that means the Mercury energy of this moon is going to be more inward. To make things a little spicier, we have Mercury along with a whole heck lot of other planets. We have a stellium of Pisces. And this is why this moon is freaking some people out. And I'm here, in my grounded Capricorn with 3-planet stellium approach to let you know why you don't need to do that. Should you be cautious about certain things? Absolutely. I wanted to get all my errands and stuff today done because I don't really like to drive and be out on the road right after or right before eclipses. We have this one, and it's hitting in Pacific. We got to love this. 3:33. Not making it up, y'all. So we got some 9 energy, which is perfect because eclipses are endings, right? So that's why I think they freak people out a little bit. 4 planets in Virgo. Yay. I have 3. So I feel ya. I feel ya. It's not always the easiest energy. We got to learn to kind of, turn down that inner critic a little bit. So this is a couple things I should talk about. I've seen some things going around, some fear-based stuff. There's a lot of stuff that people do for engagement and clicks. You know that I never do that. You know that bugs the hell out of me. But as far as fear, this goes back to many, many moons ago when we were, on the planet in a totally different time. And if you saw the sun and the moon get eclipsed, if you were, an ancient person, you wouldn't understand what was going on, and it would be scary. As far as not looking at that, there are traditions, indigenous traditions that believe that you should not look at an eclipse. And so for those people and those beliefs, we're going to totally honor that. But as far as putting it out there like, oh, no one should ever look at an eclipse, I don't agree with that. I feel like this is a sacred moment in time. It's a beautiful sacred pause that we've been given by nature, by the astronomy and the astrology. So I always suggest that people rock these portals in the way that's best for them. That being said, this is very, very ungrounded. We have a huge portion of energy in Pisces. It's very woo-woo. Are people in their body? I'll give you an example. I was out today doing some errands. There's some, pretty full parking lot, but there's some other spots. This guy pulls next to my car, and he pulled literally like 2 inches next to my car. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, do you have to park 2 inches from my car? So I'm trying to, you know me, Aries moon. I'm trying to not like flip my lid. So I went to go look at the guy, and he was just like, he wouldn't even look at me. He was checked out. So I went, I'm going to back up a little bit and move my car so I'm not 2 inches away from this Looney Tune guy that's completely checked out, parking 2 inches from my car. So I'm just sharing this with you because people are just not all there. People are ungrounded anyway. But when you have 4 planets and the North Node in Pisces, that's a huge constellation of Pisces energy. Thanks, Kathleen. Thanks for joining. You're new to my page. Nice to see you. So what is Pisces about? It's all about, it's the 12th house. It's the collective 12th house. It's spirituality. It's ruled by, its ancient ruler is Jupiter. Its more modern ruler is Neptune. Hey, Jessica. This is an interesting thing to think about. I looked at the chart today and I went, this is why I've got my sparkle shirt on. I go, this moon has something kind of lucky about it. And I'm not sure what it is. I just was kind of vibing that. So I'm like, well, let's look at where Jupiter is, right? So Jupiter, hold on. Jupiter in the chart is in Cancer, right? Which is trying to all of that beautiful Pisces watery energy. So Cancer's all about the Great Mother. It's all about mothers and children. It's actually the ruler of the moon itself. So it's there's a lot of really beautiful energy traveling with this. I know that there's been some absolutely awful things happening in geopolitics, and I don't spend a lot of time talking about that when I do cosmic weather, but I will share this because this is hopeful. When you start wars in Mercury retrograde, there's a really good chance they'll fail. So there you go. There's a lot of times that I'm really glad that certain people don't consult astrologers. Ronald Reagan had Gene Dixon on the payroll, which is a whole other conversation and is really unethical. This administration, they play around with weird, dark stuff, but the timing of this is very poor from an astrological perspective. When you mess with children with Jupiter in Cancer, it's not going to work. I mean, not only do we know it's not going to work, this is going to invoke a rage in the female collective that is so profound that it's going to change the shape of reality itself. And you can quote me on that. Saw 2 cars pull out in traffic. Yeah, be careful. No, it's not in the 12th. I was just talking about how Pisces is normally is the ruler of the 12th. So, I need to look at the chart again. And also it depends on what houses it's in, depending on what part of the world you're in. When I run the charts, I run them for Los Angeles, California, which of course, if people are back east, then it's going to be a different chart for that. The chart is on my wall. If you guys are interested in looking at that, scroll down a little bit. I posted it a few days ago. But a couple of things. So I'm out doing my errands and I'm in this business and they have you're going to love this. This Muzak comes on because you know me, it's all about music. And you remember that song from a few years ago that Now You're Just Somebody That I Used to Know, that one hit wonder, I think the band Gotchi or something like that. That little snappy little song, Now You're Just Somebody That I Used to Know. And Venus in Pisces will bring up, I had a dream about a boyfriend. I haven't thought about this guy literally in like 20 years. And I had a very lucid dream about him like 2 nights ago. So I'm sharing that with you because Venus in Pisces can be very much about the past when it's in combination with retrograde energy like this, right? We've got Mercury retrograde. And then we've got this huge ending, right? We've got this huge full moon eclipse. So anyway, I thought that's so interesting that we could be so close with people. And then they're just somebody that we used to know. Right? And there's a certain sadness about that. But at the same time, this is a really good opportunity to go, what relationships are we holding on to? Because this is really about letting go of attachment, y'all. This is real especially when you look at the cards, and I'm going to show you in a minute. They kind of surprised me, but then again, they didn't. So this is really about self-love, releasing. Who do we need to release? from the past. They might be simmering up in our dreams, right? Pay attention to that. So I thought that was cool. And then the other song, Black Crowes, a band that I love, have a new song out called Profane Prophecy. And I was thinking there's a lot of icky prophecy around this time period for us. And there's also icky prophecy around full moon eclipses. There always is. There's all this superstition, but this is the thing to remember. And I got this from guidance, so y'all pay attention to this part. There's all this prophecy, and it's all about the 3D. It's all about wars and Nostradamus, all this stuff. It's playing out, unfortunately. It is playing out. So that's not to minimize that there was some truth to that. But where are the prophecies for the fifth dimension and the higher dimensions and the new earth that we're creating? We're creating those. You and me right here. We're creating those. I don't want to pay attention to, and also prophecies are based on old energies. They're based on the energy at the time when people made them. That's why they tend to be inaccurate. And when they are accurate, like someone like Nostradamus, dude, that dude was good. He may have gotten some of the years wrong, but he got a lot of stuff right. And he existed a long time ago. So that's one of those people that, when you look at all the people that have made prophecies, it's like his kind of stand out. And Edgar Cayce's do too. And as you know, Cayce's one of my homeboys, right? But think about that. But this is the great line from Profane Prophecy by the Black Crowes. Our magic is sweet and our spells are long. How great is that? Because you know what? Transformation and revolution play the long game. Our spells are long. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Eh? That's a good one. If you want to hear that rocket song, I posted it earlier. It's on my wall. Very fun. New album by the Black Crowes. Another great thing about the Black Crowes is they have a line, and I just love this so much. Chris and Rich really came through with this song. There's a line, it's at the very end of the song, and it says, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead. And think about it. This is always how people approach eclipses and heavy portals. What are they for you? Are they a pound of feathers or are they a pound of lead? And the thing is sometimes it can be very heavy when we go through these things. And I'm not minimizing it because, it's karmic, right? Pisces it is a great song. I know, right? It's fun. Pisces is karmic. It's not here to, even though there's a real light, beautiful kitties and rainbows side to it, there's also a heavily karmic side to it that's like, if you've got some unfinished business, you're going to have to kind of pay the piper. Does it have to be miserable and awful? No, it doesn't have to be that. When you look at the bigger picture of what is this serving? How is this serving me? Like Baba Ram Dass said, use everything in your life for your transformation. Use everything. And sometimes that's really hard. And I know for sure, I've been through some very difficult things, and anybody that's been following me for a while knows that the last decade of my life was a butt kicker. It was incredibly hard. I had my second Saturn return. Wow. I was telling Brett, I go, the fact that I'm not addicted to anything really other than sugar. I have a little sugar problem. I'm working on that. I like to have a little wine every now and then. I'm doing okay. I'm doing really okay. And that was hard. So if anybody out there is going through things, or you've been through things that are karmically really hard, and they're just making you, it's like, what do they say? The wheel of karma grinds to powder fineness. If you feel like you're just getting ground down, I'm here to tell you to hang in there, okay? And practice some of that beautiful Pisces self-compassion, that self-love, right? And lean into your friends, lean into this community. I'm really grateful and honored at what we've built here. So thank you for being part of that. What else? So yeah, ditch the fear around this eclipse stuff. It's another blood moon. We have them all the time. I figured out on 20 of them, and I'm still here to report on this one to you. So that's my proof to tell you that let's not get in our panties in a twist over another blood moon, okay? Is this heavy? You bet your kabooti it's heavy. It is. But the energy that means. That doesn't mean that we have to be that. That's right. And Amy said all these karmic completions are having me feeling more free. I'm absolutely, amen, sister. I let go of some stuff. I did put it this way. When you start getting down to the bottom of it, really, because there's all these layers. You got the layer of the onion. When you start getting down to some really, really deep programming, and I'm using that word intentionally. Thanks for sending me stars, Kathleen. That's really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've enabled that on my account. I don't even know how it works. But I'm Bright Star, so if you want to send me some stars, that's cool. Anyway, I was back to this. So I was looking at that, and I was like, I was carrying something for so long, and I didn't notice it till it was gone. And it felt so good to have it be gone. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, I literally had a limp, and then one day I got up and I didn't anymore. It was really like that. And I had built a lot of my personality and my life around this thing. And it was a falsehood. It was not me. It was something I picked up pretty early in life. And my whole karmic circumstance kind of built it, right? Yeah, I told you about ex-boyfriends. Watch out for that. Don't cut your bangs either. That's a funny joke. That's a little retrograde joke for you. So, anyway, think about that. It's going to be a pound of feathers. Sometimes you got to carry a pound of lead. You let it down, and then you get a pound of feathers in its place, right? So, the whole point of eclipses is don't judge them. The effects of eclipses can last for weeks, months, and even years, right? This is deep stuff, y'all. So what do I say? Keep your humor. Rock out. Listen to some music. Enjoy art. All of whatever, fills your cup back up, right? Because it's Pisces. It's beauty. It's definitely about looking after community and looking after each other. But let me get into these cards I pulled. So I figured, wow, we're messing with some, this is heavy, pretty strong, heavy energy. So I use the Zen deck. Look at the first card I pulled. The Source. Look how beautiful that is. And you know what that suggests? What's your source? Are you looking at BS on social media, or are you going within? Are you trusting your own source? I'm going to show that again. Who's the source? You are. Had a very deep convo this morning. That's right. It's so good. This is really the gift of this. This is the gift. Anybody that's been doing the work like all of y'all have, thank you very much. So this, I feel, is worthy of celebration. That's why I wore the sparkle shirt, right? I'm ready to celebrate letting go of that crap that I was carrying around. I don't need it anymore, and it's not who I am. So I don't really share a lot of personal stuff all the time, but that's something that I felt was appropriate to share, right? Because you guys could relate to that. I want to see if there's anything else in my notes. I just wrote down the important things. Okay, so Virgo is also about physical healing. It's about grounding. These energies are ungrounded. Please get out, get your feet on Mother Earth, go talk to Gaia, however you do it. Okay, that's the first card was Source. This is the second card. Look at her. Look at the moons there. Look at Mama, pregnant with life. Look how beautiful this is. What is this saying? We're in a process just like the moon is. We're unfolding just like the moon is. We need to be patient, right? That's a reminder. Okay. And then what happens after we're patient? We get the rebirth. And she's on a lion. And you know what's interesting is Jupiter's moving into Leo this summer. I believe it's the end of June. That's going to be really beautiful for a lot of people. I mean, for me, it touches my chart in a really cool way. But I think it's going to be great pretty much for everybody. Because Cancer has its gifts and its beauty. But it's heavy. And this has been emotional. I mean, going through this awful geopolitical stuff with all of this water has made it a lot worse. That's another thing. Please enjoy me on social media now, but please take breaks from all of it. There's a lot of clickbait, nonsense, fearful stuff. Please be exceptionally mindful of what you put in your energetic space, especially in Pisces season, okay? That's why it's like I had to really bite my tongue with some of these astrologers out there putting out this fearful stuff. It's just ick. There's never a good time for it, but really you're going to do that in Pisces season when everybody's so sensitive. That's just really irresponsible. So I had to unfollow some people today. But anyway, back to this. So rebirth. So when we going over this, when we follow the source, trust our source, go within, practice patience, right? Then we have, then we have our rebirth. Then we have our rebirth. And then for fun, I pulled another card. Yeah, and then we get success. And that to me is summer. This is the summer card because of this Leo right here. This is really validating that when Jupiter goes into Leo, things are going to just really start moving. Yeah, Leo rising. That's right. Fire horse, Jupiter and Leo. Things are going to start really moving. So all years astrologically and energetically are kind of divided into two quadrants, right? And when we get to, that's why Shannon and I, hi Shannon Murray, my dear friend and colleague, we do these forecasts, and we do one in January for my birthday, and then we do one in the summer for her birthday because she's a Cancer and her birthday's at the end of June. So that's really like a good place to divvy it up because that's kind of the cross point, and then we're going to get into the second half. Thanks for the reminder to pull away from the madness. It's absolutely essential, you guys. I can't stress it enough. I had a couple of days where I think it was week before last, where I was really having a hard time. And I'm really grateful for my dear friend, Mary Beckman, who's on here. She is very generous with her time and does these clearings. I also recommend the work of Katie Rose of Rose Energetics. She does a sound bath clearing or sound clearing for very reasonable price in a group setting. I did one of those. It was chef's kiss gorgeous, y'all. And the tickets are like $22. They're really reasonable. So there's tools out there to help you. And the key is just don't wait till you're not sleeping, till you're spiraling out or looping or whatever. Like, please be aware, like, oh, I'm starting to do that, because I was starting to do that, y'all. And I'm really grateful that I have these wonderful sisters that I can just send them a message and be like, hey, what's your next offering? What are you doing? I want to jump in on that. Speaking of that, I have some offerings too. I have a group, Bright Star group remote work. We're not doing anything in March. I'm teaching World Angel Grid. If I get some interest on that, that's going to be, I believe, at the end of the month the 21st of March. If you're interested in that, let me know. And then in April, I believe it's the 17th, we're going to get back to the monthly remote group sessions. What I do with those, I'm an Akashic reader. I open a group record and we just take off and we have a wonderful time. There's the group energy together is really powerful. We've had some really amazing experiences in there. So if that's something that interests you, I will put that link on the thread of this video. Another thing I'm really excited. I've been asked to teach Akashic Records 1 and 2 at Lilydale Community in New York, in upstate New York. That's going to be in August. I will get back with y'all on the exact dates about that. My medical intuitive class for the fall is full. Thank you very much for that, everybody. That's kind of my forte. So I will be offering another one of those. Another thing, I have 2 mini readings. They're $88 a piece. I do them around the eclipses. This week is booked. If you'd like a reading, it involves I pull 3 cards from whatever deck I'm guided to use, and I give some channel commentary. And that's a good opportunity to kind of just put your toe in with my work, because it's not, you're not committed to a longer reading or a more expensive reading. So I have 2 of those. If you want one of those, claim it. It would be next week because this week's filled up. So I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. But remember, this can be as light as you want it to be. Remember, we're going to drop the lead and we're going to hold on to the feathers and rock out with that great song. And I think, let me see what else. I think that's it. Oh yeah, our magic is sweet and our spells are long. Remember your magic. Remember how sweet your magic is. And remember that this is like, this is for us witches. This is for us priestesses, right? Remember that. And the universe plays the long game. Another important thing to remember is all these silly, I don't know. I have to censor myself because on social media. But those who know me know that I'm really watching my tongue when I go on here with the profanity. All I can say is these people, these small-minded, fearful people that are really trying to do their best to keep us afraid and keep us down and keep us demoralized, they're going to lose. They already have. Okay? So please put that in your pipe and smoke it, as my teacher used to say. I love y'all. Keep on keeping on. Namaste.